Greetings, fellow brethren. I welcome you to my channel. Hey guys, welcome to game one. And today I'm playing as white and I'm playing against the Sicilian. Playing a 1757 from India named Morpheus the Sandman. And I'm just playing my Scotch opening. I really don't know how to play the Sicilian against the Sicilian. Look at me not being able to speak. I don't know how to play against the Sicilian. So I'm pretty much developing as I would in the Scotch. And so far, and honestly, one of the main reasons why I decided to play that backwards move is because I watched a video earlier before playing this match where Magnus did that. And it completely different position, but in my mind it was just screaming to tell me do what Magnus did. So hence here we are. So here I'm attacking the bishop and they attack it with their pawn, and in this point here I take, and I am slightly better, and so it's a very tricky position. And here my whole setup with my bishop here, I'm sure as you can see, if your tactics are working wired 100%, is my idea was to then have them take. So if they played this, and my idea was I'd go check and they'll do this and I would check this way, forcing their king to start making moves that he doesn't need to make, or and work from there. But alas, we can only plan so much. So my opponent moved. It was quite annoying when they did that, but it is what it is. So I castled, and I was happy the king's in the center, but also the king's a little safe. That's where my issue is also coming from. So we continue with our moves here, and here they're threatening the fork here, and I can't draw this arrow today, and I just had to prevent that. And I think this was the best way. Possibly the engine would have a different idea, but so we take that, and I didn't want to lose my bishop because it's technically stuck. So I ended up going for this position, and this is where I became very annoyed because I love the Scotch, but I don't know what to do beyond here. And I wasn't too certain as to exactly how would I open up that king. Everything just seems protected or blocked, or every other plan had the other bishop, which I'd lost already. So it was quite irritating. But anyway, so we continued playing on. But I think at this point I already resigned myself that I'm losing this game. And it always happens after a long break. When I come back my first game, I play terribly. I mean, I did play some good moves. I mean, this pawn push, for example. I saw it, and they check, and essentially I'm just forcing their bishop back. And here, the reason why I did that is because this knight here can jump here and fork my rooks. But I guess I should have allowed that because he doesn't have anything after that. But already I'm down a piece, so you can understand my thinking as to keeping pieces on the board. So I thought I was threatening the knight there, but me taking is just checkmate. So it would have been a very, very foolish, stupid, short-sighted move. So we continue, and so here it's become very apparent how many pieces I'm down. And so I think had they played any other move but that rook move, I would have done probably either perpetual check to result in a draw, or something else. But they really seem to have all their bases covered, and here I lost my rook. So already this is the end of the match. There's really nothing I can do. I tried perpetual, but then I simply ran out of time, and I didn't want to think anymore. So you win some, you lose some. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Anyway, let me show you game two. This is game two. I get white again, so I push e5, e4. What am I saying? E4, and I'm playing someone from, this is Hungary. Yes, it is. Look at me knowing my geography. From Hungary, and again they played the Sicilian, and I'm thinking, oh, what's going on today? What's with the Sicilian? Anyway, so we go around about the same ideas, but they played different variation, but again still the open Sicilian. So I took, and my idea now was, okay, you're playing the Sicilian, you don't know how to play it very well, but you can attack and make threats, so let's do that. That's what I decided to do. And you see that, like, from each move I'm trying to make it an impactful move, not just a passive slow move that allows my opponent to have some advantage. So I pin, they defended with their bishop. I guess they're threatening the castle here, not necessarily threatening, but they're going to. And I did think of some sacrifices where, if I take that, check, force the king to move. But outside of that, I didn't see a follow-up really that allows me to win the game. So I didn't do it. So this is an exchange, equal pieces. You shouldn't always exchange bishops for knights. But in this case, his knight is a powerful piece, and it was better for me without that knight. So you see, with the knight on that bishop square on f6 here, I wouldn't have been able to play the queen here because the knight protects that. So here I'm threatening checkmate, but I'm expecting my opponent to see this. It's too early in the game to be fumbling mate in one like that. Anyway, so my opponent castled. Game is dead even at present, and this is after 10 moves each, so we continue. So I castled as well. Technically this pawn is pinned because if you move it you lose your queen, so I could take this one, but then there's a bishop. It's just ideas that are flowing through as to the arrangement of how my board looks at present. So these were the thoughts that were going through my mind. And so my opponent essentially had pinned themselves, and I'll make way. So here the idea of the Scotch is when you castle long, you have the chance to have a pawn storm. And I guess this is what made me fall in love with this opening, because I play also the Jobava, and the Jobava London's idea is the pawn storm. So when you castle long, I guess it just makes sense. So yeah, I move back. I think my opponent was thinking I'm trying to target this pawn here. But my idea really was simply make way for my pawn, because I need to break open the king, because the king is castled where all my firepower is. So they threaten my pawn, I defend, they push, I take, they take, and I protect this way. So my king essentially is safe as houses. This bishop is insane, I promise you. They can't necessarily bring their pawn down, their pawn down here, because I could take. It will take a long time for them to try to dismantle this configuration here that is protecting my king, although my king is kind of sticking out. But anyway, we continue. So here I threaten the queen and the bishop. They take, I take back. Now I'm thinking, okay, how do I get this pawn out the way to do this, to line up this diagonal here with my king and my queen and bishop? So my opponent does this, which made no sense to me. Felt like a very passive move. I don't know what they're trying to achieve. Are they going to double? Even if they do, how are they going to go about it? It made no sense. So anyway, unless he was to bring his other rook in to threaten a battery here, and then now bring this pawn here to slowly threaten this piece here. Maybe, but that didn't happen. So my attack was just too fast. So here I went with my pawn storm, pushing my pawns. I took here, I pushed here, because this was a great move actually, I think. Because in my mind, I'd seen some way I get checkmate, but I couldn't quite, because, pieces are in the wrong place. So we take and they do the check here. So Ideally, when you castle long, you move your king to b1 as quickly as possible. But I didn't do that, because had that not been the case, had my king been on b1, I would have been able to checkmate. If you can see that, my queen's looking at this square and my rook protects that square. So I move, they push, and I'm thinking, okay, you know what, this is not ideal, it's not perfect, but at least it allows me to open the king, because he's weakening his own position. So I take the free pawn, attacking the bishop, they defend and also ask for a queen trade. I thought for a while, and I said no, because you can see my time usage, I was on 617 down to 434. I did think for a while, I was calculating quite a bit, but I didn't like my chances with the queens off, because they have this scary pawn here that's deep in my center, and I didn't like it. I needed either to get rid of it first, then possibly a queen trade would be ideal for me. So we continue. So they bring their piece there, because I'm not threatening checkmate to here. So they bring their queen to defend, and I attack. So the bishop's pretty vulnerable, and they move back. I push. Again, they can't take, because by them taking, I've got this pin here where their queen and their king are aligned, and bang, that's me winning a queen. So I'd rather win the queen than to trade. So that's where my mind was thinking. And also now I'm conscious of my time, because I spent so much time on that move. I'm now down essentially 3 minutes. So they threaten my queen. I move it to a light square, and they ask again for a queen trade. So I went and I essentially disallowed their pawn from being able to take, because that would be an illegal move. And so they moved their queen away, and I took, and I missed this move. So as you can tell from here, I get mate in 9. Of course, I didn't see a mating sequence in 9 moves. So they did this, and I did this, threatening the queen, because either way they're gonna have to move it. So by him moving up here, I then play that move. You see, that takes away the mating sequence. Apparently, I'm supposed to do something like push here. Where's the mating sequence? They take mate in 3, check. Check. So if they go here, it's mate in 1. That's obvious. I take my rook down. But if they block, it's just delaying the inevitable, really. Yes. So yeah, but I didn't see that. I didn't want to spend time thinking on something, so I took the free piece. And they took. I bring my rook back, and the reason why I brought my rook back is because, again, this configuration's lined up again, so I want to take advantage of it. So they push, and I immediately plant this configuration. Queen's gone. There's nothing you can do about it, and he's also down a rook. So my opponent here, I think, was just crumbling. I think his brain just stopped working. So I went here, check. They checked me. I took with my bishop, and now they're just losing a queen. So they decide to take, to lose, to go down fighting, which I appreciate. My opponent went down swinging, and with this move, it essentially ended the game. So checkmate, and I won. So I was really quite happy that I broke the Sicilian, I guess, but it seems like whenever I play a higher rated player, it's a bit more of a problem. So let's see how I go about it, and as we go forward, and see if I can prepare a line for it in the Scotch, depending on what variation they play. But anyway, that's been the game, that's been the day. Thank you all for joining me on this journey. I'm at my peak right now, so I'm going to keep playing, and hopefully I remain as excited to play. So thank you again, and thanks again for all those that subscribed. See you in the next one.